Hello, everybody. Welcome to the making of a Moore Marriage and Family, brought to you by the Moore Society Incorporated. I'm Ms. Oliver Christopher McGee. Today's recording is the second part to a prelude to dating. Uh, in a prelude to dating, talked about all the different steps informal that we take towards meeting someone, getting to know someone, and advancing towards dating. Um, we looked at how important and how useful it can be to turn what is informal into something more healthy, more functional, more intelligent, and useful. Um, this recording focuses on the structure and function of relationships from just after the prelude, the beginning of dating, up until marriage. Mhm. Now, because the Moore Society is dedicated to Negro social studies in hopes of developing a healthier and more refined African American culture, we look at our information and we focus on scientifically driven data. We want to focus on uh, human psychology, sociology. We want to look at understanding history and heritage, seeing the real life challenges that we face on a daily basis. Um, we don't deal with a lot of feelings and emotions, and that is not meant to say that feelings are not important in relationships. We understand that feelings are important, but in order to nail down something solid and cohesive, something that's functional, we cannot lean so much on the irrational, which is why we do what we can to take what is informal and find the structure, find the function. Our goal is to better understand each step, each stage, each level in a relationship so that we can approach it more intelligently. We can take it, explore it, and see the possibilities and making it more uh, useful. When it comes to relationships, we want to improve our understanding of ourselves, of our companion, as well as the nature of our fellowship. We want to be able to understand the purpose, the needs, the responsibilities, so that we can have a better sense of the qualifications that one should look for in relationships. You look for a companion, it's one thing to say, oh, he's cute or he's fine, but to be able to say that he has knowledge and skills essential for performing specific duties. Well, now we're getting to something more intelligible, something more useful. Okay, but now, like I said, this video is focusing on that period after the prelude in relationships, and what we're talking about, what we observe is four different levels. When it comes to intimate relationship between a man and woman, there is dating. Just above that is courtship. Above courtship is the promise. Above that is the marital engagement, and then ultimately marital relationships. Um, and basically, what we're looking at is the relate what women need, what men need, and the role and responsibilities that come with fulfilling and aiding in the fulfillment of those needs. How a man would care for a woman, love, nurture, support. How a woman would care for a man, love, nurture, support. We look at what it means to meet somebody for the first time and lay a foundation. First, you establish that association, then you get acquainted, then you establish a basic friendship, and from there you build. And the idea is that as you advance up the relationship ladder, as you go from good friend, better friend to best friend, as you go from specific associate to more general associate, that your knowledge of the person increases, that their knowledge of you increases, that the confidence between you grow. So there's greater trust. Um, we look at interests, shared hobbies, passion, so that we can see the relationship as it is and see how it's necessary to structure, how it's necessary to structure and function. Now, dating, when you start dating, it's like you've come into the entrance level of a person's life. And as an entrance level, your primary goal is to get orientation. You want to get orientation to this person, who they are, to the life they live, to the world they live in, the world that gives their life shape. And after orientation, you enter into almost like a service agreement, where you are going to focus on them, making them happy, being a comfort and a pleasure to them, as they are a comfort and pleasure to you. And there is an ongoing exchange, um, getting to know each other, finding common ground, uh, be they personality traits, what you two have in common, character, whether or not you are compatible. You look at professional compatibility in terms of relationships. Like you look at a girl in college, a boy in college, they're both dating. She wants to be a school teacher. That's her ambition. She's going to school. She gets an education. She's going to be a school teacher. She's dating a guy. They really care for each other. He wants to be a corporate lawyer. They have their personalities click. Their character, a lot in common. They are connecting. They share common interests, common passions. And you'll say to yourself, well, these are two people who have a future. But that's only because people underestimate the importance of two people being compatible in terms of profession, in terms of religion, compatibility in culture, and compatibility in social politics. All right? But for the sake of argument, let's just focus on profession. If he wants to be a corporate lawyer, he's going to go to law school, graduate from law school. If he gets a position with a law firm, he is not going to make very much money starting out. And he's going to work easily 60, 70 hours a week in a private law firm. Um, lawyers bill a lot of hours, nights, weekends, they work a complete work day, including nights and weekends. Lawyers typically work like around the clock, year round. So if a woman is a school teacher, she gets off work at 3. She's home by 3:30, 4 o'clock. And if she has in her mind that her marriage companion is going to come home for dinner, and they're going to be able to sit and watch TV or go for a walk or go to church or go have drinks and things of that nature, more often than not, there's going to be a great deal of conflict because a lawyer works so many hours. In order for that lawyer, that corporate lawyer, to pursue his profession and achieve his goals, he's going to have very little time for traditional relationship, recreation, and entertainment. So you're saying, man, well, they were so good together in college and they seemed to love each other so much. Why come the relationship didn't work? Because they weren't compatible in the one area that carried so much weight, and that was the area of profession and career. She's at home waiting for him to come home for dinner. He said, I plan on getting home. I'm probably get home. But his job requires him to work late. So he'll be at the office more often than not. And then if he does come home, he's going to be at the dining room table with books and paperwork scattered all over the dining room table, finishing up paperwork, so that he can be on task first thing the next work day. So even when he's home, he's not going to be there to enjoy you or enjoy himself. Going out of town would be a trick because He'll have to be on call, and too often, if he has called to the office, you plan a 5 day trip, 2 days in the trip, he has to go back to work. And this can put so much stress on a relationship that people end up breaking up. So it is important to be compatible, and it's important to give measure to profession, give measure to people's social polities, their politics, to give measure to their culture, traditions, and customs, and what their family regards as proper folklore mores, what they've come to know as everyday life. Because although you as two personalities are compatible, you'll find you're not compatible in other ways that are very, very important. And that's why when you're in high school, to college, college to grad school to being out to the workforce, you have to be really careful during those adolescent and young adult years because your life is quickly taking shape and there's so many factors that vary and so much uncertainty from where you're going to get a job, what graduate school you might get into. You have to be very careful. Too often you find yourself struggling to maintain relationships because your professional goals, your academic goals won't permit you to do it at that time. But we'll get off into that. We're definitely going to get off into that. But like again, this recording is primarily focused on the structure function of mature relationships, where dating is that interest level. You're functioning as almost like an associate on a job, where you're interacting with people, those people necessary to make your companion's life the what it is, their friends, their families. And as you work to advance up the relationship ladder, as you work to build an understanding, to gain confidence, and to advance in terms of authority and influence, you take on more and more responsibility. You want more out of your relationship. You want more in terms of compensation from your companion. At the same time, you have to know that you have to do more work, that you've got to commit more of yourself. And when you advance to uh, associate, to lead to supervisor, you're still a laborer. You're still a laborer. But as a supervisor, you have a very important role because whether you're an assistant supervisor, that is, helping your companion supervise the people, the places, the things, and ideas of their world. Or you've been charged with the responsibility of supervising your own people. It's a big responsibility, and it lays the groundwork for what could be an advancement in a relationship. Example, a guy has a girlfriend. For the first time, they've been together for a few months. They're planning a dinner party. They're planning a dinner party at his place. He has friends coming over. She's inviting friends. She is responsible for the people she brings to the party. These people are her guests. It is her responsibility to sit down and say, hey, girlfriend, look, y'all, we're going to a party at my man's house. Okay? I need y'all on y'all best behavior. Oh, what you gonna embarrass you? I no disrespect. You're my girl. I love you, but I'm talking to you. This is for real. You sometimes you get sister soldier. You get too out there. You get too militant. You get the voice in your opinion, and you become crass and rude. And I don't want you doing that in front of my man and his people. I want this. This is a dinner party. It's gonna be elegant and tasteful, and I need y'all to be on your best behavior. That's the woman's job. Her friends come over, getting drunk, getting loud, being crass. Child, and keeping up noise, embarrassing her, embarrassing the man. It's her responsibility to pull that girl aside and say, look, man, you got to pull it in a notch or you got to go. You're my guest. How you behave is a reflection on me. I'm responsible for your being here. And you gonna disrespect my man, disrespect his family? What you doing? You hurting me. You supposed to be my girl. That's her responsibility as a supervisor. If it's a person, If she's taking you to a place you've never been, it's her plan. She's taking you out. I want to show you this place. She's responsible for making sure, okay, this is a safe place. This is a place that's not going to be disrespectful to my man. It's not going to be an insult to him to be there. And if she's introducing you to an idea or to a thing, she is responsible for that thing, that idea. And if she can't take responsible for it, then she has no business bringing it to your life. And the same vice versa. If a man is going into a woman's life, enter into her world, gonna be around her people, he's supposed to carry himself with proper respect. And if he's gonna bring people into her life, it's his job to govern his people. If his mother is disrespecting the girl, it's more his fault than anybody else. Because he's supposed to know his mom and how his mama gonna behave. And if she can't behave herself, she need to keep her ass at home. It's just that simple. But the bottom line is, when you would come into a person's life and you're dating, you're basically a laborer. You're a laborer. You come in, you punch the clock, and it's your job to provide a service, produce a good, to help your companion advance in their life, to grow, to achieve. That's your role. And when you're in the employment of your companion, you have to maintain a proper demeanor. You have to carry yourself in a way that is respectful and proper. Now, once you, if a woman demonstrates her ability to be a good supervisor, whether she's assisting you in supervising your world or she's supervising that part of her world she's sharing with you, she should be solid in her skills as a supervisor before you advance the relationship. Now, courtship is management, okay? Dating is labor. Dating, you go from associate to lead, lead to assistant supervisor, supervisor. That's the role you play in somebody's life. That's the role you play in your companion. Now, if you establish yourself in that relationship and prove yourself worthy of being more, this is when a man starts to look at you as a possible companion in a courtship. A courtship is management. He sees that you got the potential and the drive to be more, that you can be more instrumental in his effort to advance himself as a man, as an institutional man. He brings you into his management training. You become an associate manager. Now, in the courtship stage, you have manager in training. You got associate manager, assistant manager, you got manager, and you got the store or household manager. Household manager. Now, the difference between management and labor is that when you were just dating, when she was an associate to a supervisor, she would come to your home and she would be a part of things. But she didn't have a key. She didn't have a key. She had limited access to your private, confidential paperwork, your privacy, your space, your personal space. Management. Now she's got a key. She's got a key to your place. She has access to your mail, access to your personal computer. And as a manager, she has greater responsibility in your life. She is now responsible for planning and helping you plan, all right? Organizing and helping you organize, coordinating and helping you coordinate things going on in your life. If you're doing something for your mom, doing for your brother and sister, doing something for a friend, if you're doing something in service to your creator, you look to her as a support. And she now has the authority in your life to function as a manager. She's given greater responsibility in your world, so she has greater access. But with greater responsibility, with greater access, with greater power, with greater authority comes greater responsibility. You compensate her more in terms of love and support and affection. You compensate her more with your your commitment to serving her as she serves and cares for you. But the role and responsibility of management is serious, and the role she plays in your life should not be easily it should never be taken for granted or easily undermined. You have to make sure that the woman is worthy of being a manager before you advance her to a courtship. And like I say, one of the things is being a supervisor, engaging her ability to supervise people, places, things, and ideas. As an assistant manager, how she functions in your world. As a supervisor, how she functions in her own. You're watching her ability to carry herself with character, honor, and integrity, and to expect the most of the people, places, things, and ideas in her world, especially those things that she brings into your world. Now, as manager, she's there to help you do just that. All right, and this is yet another level helping you manage your facility, that is your home. Manage as a manager, she'll help you manage the human resources. What is human resources? She's going to help you meet new people, screen new people, process the application for new people. Whether this is somebody who's going to be a mere associate or an acquaintance or somebody who hope to build a relationship and one day be a friend. This is something you already do on your own. If she's going to be a part of your life, and once she advances to management, she's going to play an important role in your relationship with your people. You got a friend, your friend is dependent on you, your friend is in your employment. He has benefits, and when he needs access to those resources, he needs your support. You there for him. You got your boys back. Well, your woman has to understand that you have your boys back, and that her role as a manager in your life is to help your brother, help your partner. You got a female in your life who doesn't work to support your effort to care for those in your employment, then she's not fit to be a human resource manager. If she don't want to help you maintain the bills, keep the house clean, insect and pest control, make groceries, if she don't want to, she has no business being a manager if she don't want to help you take care of your home, of your facility. Whatever you do every day to build your life, your career, your profession, your hobbies and interests, these are operations. If she's going to be a manager in operation, she's got to make a healthy and responsible contribution to your efforts to build your life. Now, when you go from lower management to middle management, and you enter the promised relationship, when a man meets a woman, he realizes this is a woman he wants to marry. He says, "Well, I'm going to give you this promise ring." And this is a ring that says one day I'm going to ask you to be my wife and give you an engagement ring. So this is like a pre-engagement period. This is a period when a man starts to grooming a woman for the possibility of being his wife. All right. This is the promise period. This is middle management. And as he advances through that, okay, then you go into the upper management, which is would be the actual engagement. All right, now this is a big deal because in America, living with white folk, we got it upside down. The word engage means just that, a period of coming together. Okay? When you come together in an engagement, you don't get married until the engagement is complete. The engagement is the process by which two people come together. The actual wedding is the celebration of the union. So if so an engagement is like going off to college. You got your freshman year, your sophomore year, your junior year, your senior year, and then when it's time, once you uh, passed all the classes, earned all the credits, people get together and vote and say, okay, you're ready for a degree. You've qualified. Then they throw this wedding ceremony called graduation. You put on the gown, you walk across stage, get your diploma in hand, and say, "Look what I did." And you may kiss the bride. We live in a country where a lot of times engagement periods aren't engagements at all. They're just a party planning period. People spend more time focused on throwing a wedding party than they do the actual marital engagement. This is a very important piece. When we get into the institution of holy matrimony, we're going to dig deep into the process by which people, a man and woman, become of one heart, mind, body, and soul. We're going to talk about the institution of holy matrimony and the responsibility both parties have to tend to the marriage itself as well as to the individual needs of each member of that marriage. We're going to get down with that, but right now, to keep the video, this recording short, we're just going over the structure. Now, once you advance above, in during this engagement period, once it's complete, you enter into the marital relationship. This is where the wedding is your union is christened through a wedding, and then you ready to start business. All right, your business is open. It's your grand opening, and you and your woman are working together to serve the purpose of your fellowship, as well as take care of your marital business. The institution of holy matrimony is like any institution, a church, a government, a university. There are two sides. There's the business side and there's a purpose side. When you look at a church, you look at a preacher and he's teaching, and you say, well, that man's taking care of business. No, that man's focused on the purpose. He is the purpose. He's about the purpose. The business is the trustees. The board of trustees are the one that keep the church clean, shampoo the carpet, clean the robes for the choir, maintain the church bus, cut the grass, trim the hedges, plant the flowers, insect and pest control, paint the walls. That's their job. They do business. They pay the church's bills. Ministry, Bible study, Sunday school, that's the purpose of the church, not the business. Hospital, you look at the doctor, the nurses, the therapists, oh, that's business. That's business. No, no, no. That's purpose. The doctors and the nurses are the purpose of business of the hospital. Are lawyers, experts in health insurance, uh, public health administrators, public health managers, professional buyers. That's a whole nother animal. Holy matrimony, it's important to understand that you and your woman have to be defined in both your purpose and your business. How you administrate, manage, and finance your business, how you pursue, how you explore, how you preserve, and how you make use of your purpose, how you grow and advance in your purpose. Both of these things must be uh, properly handled. Both of these things have to be uh, fully conceptualized, defined in what they are and how they are, and you and your companion must be on the same page on what you're trying to achieve. This is the dating structure and function. So, quick summary: you got the relationship structure. You got dating, which is the labor zone. You got the courtship, which is the lower level of management. You got the promise period, which would be the middle level, and then you got the upper level of management, which would be the engagement. All right. So first you go from labor, lower management, upper management, middle management, upper management. Then you go into the marital relationship itself. Each level has different rank. Each rank is responsible for specific roles and responsibilities, specific duties, mission, vision, and purpose. And this is something we are going to explore and get a better understanding of as the Moore Society takes shape in its research and development. This has been The Making of a Moor, Marriage and Family, brought to you by the Moore Society Incorporated. I am Christopher McGee, and what we just did was scratch the surface on some of the research that we as the brothers are doing in our effort to advance and refine the African American culture. If you like what you heard or found anything useful, please hit the like button and then subscribe. We got more information coming. God bless.